These 3 books from Alex Hormozi will make me a millionaire in the next 12 months, and they cost me $100. This isn't a book review. This is day 0 of a 12-month plan to build an empire. My name is Abner, and this is the Noble CEO, the public record of building an empire from the ground up. They say that you have to spend money to make money. Even Alex Hormozi himself is a big proponent of investing as much as you can in yourself when you've got nothing. So I'll take that to the fullest and invest in Alex Hormozi's Money Models books. My God. Is it weird that I think this is really cool? There it is. That's the book stack. $100 million offers. $100 million money models. This is the brand new book that came out from Alex Hormozi. He actually did over $100 million worth of sales on this one book using the techniques discussed in the book. And I think this is cool too. It shows Alex and Layla in the past. I assume when they wrote this book. It's cool to see how much they've changed in this time. Wow. That's crazy. And the last one is $100 million leads. And this is the thickest book actually, so I think it makes sense why they stacked it like this. It's surprising to me that there's nothing in the box because Alex Hormozi, I believe, is a big proponent as well of just delivering the best product. And something that always outstands any other product is personalization, customization, addressing the customer directly. Not that I was expecting a handwritten letter. The fact that there's nothing in there is surprising for that reason. But either way, with all 3 books from the $100 million series, we now have all the resources we need to be successful in business and exceed $100 million. Hopefully 3 times. The pillars of Noble CEO are simple. We build the person so we can build the dream. Today is day 1 of our Noble Creation series, the series where we take a business idea, build it into a plan and a strategy to implement in the future. Now these can be any ideas, so if you have an idea for a business that you want to see built into a business plan and a strategy, comment it or DM me. However, since this is the first episode, I'm going to be walking you through the 3 current business ventures that we're working on right now. Every Sunday, I'm going to be hosting a series called The Noble Ledger. That's where I'll give you live updates on the ventures and how these 3 books have changed my philosophy as I read through them and implement them. First, let's talk about the tools. Why these books? $100 million offers is how we'll create irresistible product. $100 million leads is how we'll find our customers. And $100 million money models is the entire system for the whole empire. Now, let's dive into the game. The following are the 3 primary ventures for the next 12 months. These are going to be the foundational steps to $100 million a year. There's a social media marketing agency, a Wildland fire contracting agency, and there's an opportunity for a merger and acquisition. My partner and I have been in the trenches for years, gaining credibility with businesses, and we've been dabbling in social media. And like most of you who've done the same thing, you probably have been given a request to do social media for business before. So now we're sitting at a point where we have 4 businesses that want us to do social media for them. But here's the problem. We're already building other ventures. And a traditional social media marketing agency is a job, which is a trap that Alex points out many business owners fall into. You end up working for your business rather than on your business. So instead of being a CEO, you spend your time just doing a higher paid job. You're filming, you're editing, dealing with client calls, so you're trapped. This is a fatal flaw in traditional business, for us at least, because we don't have the time to be technicians. But a Noble doesn't see a problem in this. They see an opportunity. How do we get out of the traditional responsibilities of a social media marketing agency while still fulfilling the requests of these businesses to do their marketing for them? Well, the solution manifested itself in what was happening in the background. While we were dabbling in social media, we noticed that a lot of our colleagues also started picking that up. A lot of them are actually more talented than we are. One of these particular individuals decided to make a social media marketing agency specifically, while the other ones were pursuing social media content to become creators. And the key detail about this is he used to work for a big YouTuber. He's been all over the world. He's done all these things. It's crazy the life that they live. And this guy's met all of the people that I want to meet. Minus Alex, obviously. Or maybe he has. I don't even know, dude. He is a childhood friend. And for anybody who's aspiring to build something, you know, when you see a friend doing the same thing, especially if they're succeeding more than you, it's exciting. And maybe this is because I haven't broken through the major revenue barriers yet, but the fact that he's doing his own thing is monumental to me. So the solution that presented itself is this. We have creators who are wanting to create. We have businesses who are wanting social media content to be created. You guys can probably see where this is going. Our social media marketing agency is therefore the brokerage. We get the clients, we focus on what the delivery is, and then we delegate the work. So the content creators can focus on their bread and butter, what they actually enjoy and what they get really good at, which is just doing the content creation, filming, editing. Generally speaking, you can do more if you do less, or if you have somebody else do some part of it for you. So by combining your efforts, you can immediately scale to more. So the strategy is therefore to use $100 million leads to 10x our client acquisition and $100 million offers to perfect the win-win system for both our partners and our clients. Partners being the social media marketing agencies. If you guys are interested in a full breakdown of what this business plan actually looks like, I'll talk more about it on Sunday to go from a high level strategy to the actual physical deliverables, the executables, the tasks that you have to do to accomplish all of this. Next is the Wildland fire contracting opportunity. Generally speaking, half of the country, the West Coast, is on fire half of the year, every year. I don't know if you guys knew that. For the last 2 years, my business partner and I have been working with a friend of ours, helping aid in the logistics and the administration of campsite management. These fires are usually in national parks, national forests, in places that people can't really access. So what ends up happening is firefighters, thousands of them, come in from all across the nation and they camp around the fires. And there's a main camp and then there are little camps everywhere else. So the main camp usually has a big semi-truck with a kitchen in it. And that kitchen makes food 3 meals a day. Well, what happens when you're in one of the smaller camps? Well, that's where hot food transport comes in. Basically, we're Uber Eats drivers delivering food from the main camp to these faraway camps in the middle of forests that are on fire. So here's the opportunity. The colleague that had accepted the contracts in the past, she expressed some concerns with continuing this kind of service because it's a little bit different from what she's used to. And there were some issues in the first go. I would be surprised if there aren't issues on anything that you try your first time. But we ended up talking with her, telling her that we liked it a lot, and we would love to partner with her to either do our own thing or form a collective thing. And so the idea is that we'll subcontract with her for a couple of years while she teaches us how to do everything. Then after that, we're going to do our own thing as we expand, and we'll give her a commission on every contract that we win for a certain amount of time. For those of you who aren't familiar with government contracting, usually there's a website, it's called sam.gov. And on SAM, you can see every contract that is going out to the public. And for those of you who also don't know this, up until the 70s, the US military usually contracted itself to build everything that it needed. So the Navy would build Navy ships and the Army would build tanks and things like that. But in the 70s or whenever it was, a law was passed that a certain amount of contracts needed to be given to the general public, small businesses, to help boost the economy. And so sam.gov is where all small businesses can find these contracts and you can just win the contract. Obviously, you need to meet a certain level of specifications, but just like every other business in the United States, there are relatively clear instructions on what you need to do to be compliant. So on these contracts on SAM, it usually tells you pretty detailed exactly what you need to fulfill the contract. And it may be anything that has to do with the government, from building rockets to replacing the porta potties on forest lands. Here's the difference with fires and hazards and things. So when a hurricane comes or a fire catches, nobody can really predict that. So it's pretty short notice. So usually you fill out a certain document that verifies that you have all of this equipment and you are on standby for the next season. And so whenever it happens, you're called once the fire gets to a certain threshold and the government takes over. So then you're on this call list. They call you, you go out to it. What we would do is we'd be food delivery drivers for spike camps that are far enough away from the main camp that they can't get a semi-truck in there with a kitchen in it to cook them food. Now for this, one of the biggest things to note is that we don't have the money to buy a van or kit it out. We can continue doing the contracts. We can win them. We can make an LLC. We can go through everything that is needed. But when it comes to a van, that's about $80,000 in an investment. So here's the strategy. We tackle investments. How do you get investment for a business, especially when you have nothing? So if you're somebody who's out there, you just have an idea and you're aspiring to do something and you have no idea how to do it, but you know that it's going to cost money that you don't have, watch and learn. We're going to go down that exact path. You're going to learn exactly what not to do and exactly what to do. And if you have any ideas or you've done this before, feel free to comment so that we have a better idea of the direction that we need to go in. But the plan is currently to seek investors seek investment from those that we know, and then also seek investment from us, from the Small Business Administration. Hopefully the government reopens and that starts flowing effectively again. But we've heard that the Small Business Administration will give out certain loans that will be repaid by the government. And I don't know if that's going to be taken out of the pay that we would get for delivering the contract, or if we get our fee on top of that. Ideally, obviously, they would just somehow pay off the loan to the SBA and then also pay us on top of that. But I think realistically, it's going to come out of the profits of the business or something like that. Either way, that's the route that we're going to go on for right now. That's the way that we're thinking. So this is a pure test of $100 million offers, creating an irresistible, legally compliant, and high value asset that can be scalable. This one's going to be interesting and exciting because it's fundamentally similar to a job. Government contracting isn't like your own kind of risked nature. It is risky. You are still a business owner, but to an extent, it's just like a job where somebody has money, they need something done, they will pay you to do it. The only difference would be like if you work at Walmart and you're just on call to do the job every day, to do the shift, but you need to put in a bid every time you do the shift, and you compete with other people who work at Walmart for the best price and location to get out there. And that's government contracting. It's kind of cool. It is scalable. You can have multiple people working for you and just offer the best price, and now you have all the employees at Walmart, but it's supposed to create opportunity for the public. Okay, now here's venture 3. This is where it all comes together, and one of the things that I'm most excited for. This is in the category of mergers and acquisitions. We have a couple clients who are looking to sell their business, and for many young entrepreneurs, you're probably looking to sell your company once you scale it to a certain amount. So this is an incredibly valuable avenue to navigate. So by the end of this, we're going to learn how to sell a business, whether we succeed or not. And we're going to try and sell it for as much as humanly possible. So we're going to aim for 100 million. Obviously, we have the opportunity to sell a company that is the #1 business in the United States in 2 categories, 2 niches. And on top of it, 55% of the sales come from outside of either one of those niches, proving that this business has mainstream appeal. So here's the strategy. We're going to be trying to sell it on a 2-pronged approach. The acquirer, the one who buys it, keeps the legacy company as a cash cow. It's already making money. It's already profitable. It's established. Then the same acquirer uses the company's intellectual property and their supply chain to launch a new brand to compete in the multi-billion-dollar market. Here's what we do. To get as close to our $100 million price as possible, we're not just going to go to one buyer. We're going to build a tiered auction. We'll get floor offers from financial buyers, people with cash. Then we'll leverage those offers to approach brand-focused private equity at a higher tier. And finally, we'll use that bidding war to prove our value to the ceiling. The visionary strategists who will actually pay and have the money to pay 100 million plus for a brand in a box. And that's everything. This is all the before I've read the books, before we've launched anything specifically, before we've filed the LLCs. We've done business in the past. We've been successful enough to say that we've succeeded, but not enough to retire us. So this is the way forward for the next 12 months. You've now seen the before. You know the plan. This is day 0. If you want to watch this journey and see these books applied in real time, subscribe. I'll be going over them and showing you our actual progress in our ventures every Sunday. And on top of that, if you're not just a watcher and you actually want to get involved because you're a builder, comment below or DM me. I'm looking for talent to join these startups. We're building a legion, not just an audience. So the work starts now.